Salut, c'est Géraldine, bienvenue sur Comme une Française TV, Sound French, even to the French. French and English sometimes sound the same. Throughout history, words have traveled across the Channel or the ocean, spreading the German roots and Roman sounds of both languages. Nowadays, these words help us understand each other. You just have to pronounce them with a French accent and voilà, you're already bilingual. Or are you? It's not so simple, unfortunately. Some words, les faux amis or false cognates, will trick you into making mistakes. They sound the same in French and in English, but their meanings are different. If you hear them, you might think you've just been insulted, or maybe you'll use another in good faith and a French speaker will think you're really rude. Let's prevent that. Let's dive in. Manyak. In English, a maniac is really crazy, even violent. The word comes from the Latin mania, madness. In French, this meaning exists for maniac, but only in a formal medical speak. In a normal conversation, however, it means obsessive, for hygiene, order, or cleanliness maybe, like a mild form of OCD. Most of the time, it's used for house cleaning, faire le ménage, or just le ménage. Maniaque can be a noun. For example, ma sœur est une maniaque du ménage. Ma sœur est une maniaque du ménage. My sister is a house cleaning freak. And the word is also an adjective. J'ai un mari maniaque. J'ai un mari maniaque. Il n'aime pas que je laisse mes chaussettes par terre. Il n'aime pas que je laisse mes chaussettes par terre. I have an obsessive husband. He doesn't like me leaving my socks on the floor. Spécial means special, more or less. The adverbs have the same meaning. Spécialement, especially, also synonyms for particulièrement. Spécial has several meanings and most of them are shared with the English word special. Un traitement spécial, a special treatment. Un vin spécial pour ce plat, a special one for this dish. However, when applied to someone, the word spécial is usually understood as mentally handicapped. But in French, spécial rather means strange or unusual. J'ai une amie un peu spéciale, elle collectionne les animaux de compagnie. J'ai une amie un peu spéciale, elle collectionne les animaux de compagnie. I have a friend who's quite strange. She collects pets. Tes collègues sont un peu spéciaux, non? Ils m'ont parlé de théorie du complot à propos de la Tour Eiffel. Tes collègues sont un peu spéciaux, non? Ils m'ont parlé de théorie du complot à propos de la Tour Eiffel. Your co-workers are a bit strange, aren't they? They told me about some conspiracy theories about the Eiffel Tower. Le surnom. Un surnom is a nickname. This one is pretty straightforward. A surname in French is simply le nom or le nom de famille, to be specific. And the first name is le prénom. It's also the title for a French comedy I've talked about before, and you will find a link to the trailer below the video on the blog. Le surnom helps to describe you and is useful when someone else shares your first name in social circles. That's how surnames first appeared in the Middle Ages, actually, and when nicknames were passed down to the next generation. They became family names, les noms de famille. Un surnom is different from un pseudonyme or un pseudonym. It's also a verb, surnommer, to give a nickname, to nickname, surnommer. For example, je m'appelle Jean et mon nom de famille c'est Bon, alors mes amis me surnomment Saucisson. Je m'appelle Jean et mon nom de famille c'est Bon, alors mes amis me surnomment Saucisson. I'm called Jean and my surname is Bon, so my friends nickname me Sausage. L'envie is a feminine word. It only means envy when we talk about sins and flaws, which isn't very common. The adjective there would be envieux or envieuse. Envieux, envieuse for envious. And the verb is envier, to envy, which is different from avoir envie, to want. Okay? Actually, most of the time, envie is a desire or a need. Une envie pressante means the urge, a euphemism for when you have to go to the bathroom. Une envie pressante. J'ai envie means je veux, I want. Don't use it to say I envy you. I envy you would be translated into je t'envie or je suis envieuse. Je t'envie, I envy you, or je suis envieuse. A famous French singer once sang qu'on me donne l'envie, l'envie d'avoir envie. Let someone make me want to want. Well, it's poetry, it's hard to translate. You'll find a link to the song below the video. It was written and composed by French artist Jean-Jacques Goldman. Une prune. Une prune is a classic false cognate. In English, a prune is un pruneau in French. A prune is un pruneau. But in French, une prune is a plum. But une plume is a feather. And un faiseur is a maker. But it's a very unusual word. Maquer, however, is more common slang and means to be in a couple. Elle est maquée. It's slang, okay? She already has someone. Elle est maquée. Damn. I could go all day about false cognates. So anyway, une prune also commonly means a ticket, a fine, une prune. For example, je mangeais des prunes au lieu de regarder ma vitesse, le radar m'a vu et m'a mis une prune. Je mangeais des prunes au lieu de regarder ma vitesse, le radar m'a vu et m'a mis une prune. I was eating plums instead of checking my speed. The radar saw me and gave me a ticket. Poop means stern, the naval turn. La poupe du navire est opposée à la proue. La poupe du navire est opposée à la proue. The stern of the ship is opposing the bow. So don't be too confused when you talk to your sailor friend. Dramatic has relations with theater. Un drame is a play that looks like a tragedy. So terrible things happen in theater. The English language focused on the theatrical side. The French language shows the terrible part. That's why in English, dramatic means theatrical, théâtral, spectaculaire, okay? Théâtral or spectaculaire. And that's also why the French word dramatique means terrible, horrible. For example, ce film était spectaculaire, il s'est passé tellement de choses. Ce film était spectaculaire, il s'est passé tellement de choses. This movie was dramatic, so many things happening. Ce film était dramatique, je me suis ennuyée pendant 2 heures. Ce film était dramatique, je me suis ennuyée pendant 2 heures. This movie is terrible. I was bored for 2 hours straight. The difference is subtle, but it's there. In English, personal drama means a complicated relationship. In French, un drame personnel means that a member of your family died. Un troupeau d'éléphants a envahi ma rue et a écrasé tout le monde. C'était spectaculaire mais dramatique. Un troupeau d'éléphants a envahi ma rue et écrasé tout le monde. C'était spectaculaire mais dramatique. An elephant herd came into my street and stomped on everyone. It was dramatic but terrible. Your turn now. How would you translate? Mon amie est un peu spéciale. Elle ne mange que des prunes et ça salit partout. Je suis un peu maniaque, donc pour moi, c'est dramatique. Mon amie est un peu spéciale. Elle ne mange que des prunes et ça salit partout. Je suis un peu maniaque, donc pour moi, c'est dramatique. Give your answer in the comments below. Et toi? Were you aware of these differences? Which other false cognates do you know? What mistakes have you made with these words? Share your experience in French, if you dare, in the comments below the video on the blog. We can all learn from your story. The comment section is the best place to start discussions and ask me questions. Please comment if you like this video or if you have something you want me to talk about. I will read all your comments. If you like this video, share it with your friends on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest, by email. Help me spread the word about Comme, Française. Merci. Love France, dream of sounding French even to the French. Learn how with me, Géraldine, on commeunefrançaise.com and subscribe to my email updates for exclusive tips on real life in France every Tuesday, plus an exclusive video lesson, Introduce Yourself in French. And it's free. Merci for watching Comme une Française TV, sound French even to the French. Allez, salut!